It was a hard thing to witness, seeing a grown woman, let alone a retired head teacher, who every time she walked past a group of teenage boys would start to tremble with fear. The root of that lifelong trauma was the violent intimidation of the Hitler Youth, teenage boys who took sadistic pleasure in harassing and terrorizing a young girl just because she happened to be Jewish. Fortunately, at 12 years old, that young girl left Nazi Germany, but the terror came with her. Terrorism is doubly wicked. Not only does it ruin the lives of those directly injured, it also overwhelms all those around them, including anyone associated with the victims. The shockwaves of fear create a deep sense of anxiety. If it could happen to them, then it could happen to me and to all those whom I love. This is how terrorism works. A violent act which injures relatively few people but intimidates and terrifies hundreds, thousands, sometimes millions. Take, for example, the despicable events of September the 11th, 2001. On that terrible day, almost 3,000 people were murdered in the deadliest act of terrorism in modern times. However, the emotional afterwaves were just as significant. Millions of people choosing not to fly for months, sometimes years. Others wouldn't go to a city or anywhere near a skyscraper. The wickedness of terrorism is that it works. It makes us afraid. Contemporary terrorists are only further helped by our smart devices, whereby we amplify their fear-mongering myriad times over. To counter this evil, this deliberate epidemic of intimidation, Judaism offers an antidote. It's right in the middle of Psalm 23. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, lo ira ra, I will fear no evil. This is more than a mantra, it's a mindset. No matter how much others might seek to intimidate and terrorize us, we will not allow them to succeed. This mantra is repeated elsewhere, including at the end of the prayer Adon Olam. Adonai li v'lo ira. My God is with me. I will not be afraid. That little girl from Nazi Germany, born at this time of year and named after Ruth, the brave heroine of Shavuot, well, she never gave in to her fear. Watching her as an old lady as she passed a group of teenage boys, it was clear that her characteristically stoic composure was about to crumble. But then she'd take a deep breath, steady her knocking knees, and walk on, head held high. As a boy, seeing his grandmother both traumatized from the terrors of her youth, but also refusing to give in to that terror, was the best lesson I could ever have received about Jewish resilience. My grandmother's mantra from the end of Adon Olam served her well. She would not give in to fear, and neither must we. Shabbat Shalom.